good to see you again, mate.
Good to see you too, Robert.
How you been, alright?
Yeah, I've been very well actually.
So, we originally had planned that we're going to go up the mountains and have a little wander about. Unfortunately, the weather hasn't played with it, right? So here we are in Geneva. What are you doing in Geneva, Flo?
Well, we're here in Geneva, based here at the moment, focusing on my new project, which is a mountaineering book, a guidebook and a photographic journey on Mont Blanc, which shall approach both tourists and alpinists as a target group. And this book is going to be a beautiful cooperation with a friend of mine, a professional photographer from Belgium who lives here in Geneva. And that's the reason why I'm currently based in Geneva. And
seems to be also handy for what you want to do anyway. I mean, how far you got to get to the base of the mountain from here, the Mont Blanc?
Well, Geneva is the perfect location for a lot of like alpinism, especially in the Mont Blanc Massif, because it's only 1.5 hours if you take it really slow. If you're in a hurry, you can do it in an hour to basically to the base of Mont Blanc, and it is a very good place to actually even try to recruit customers and find clients, because a lot of tourists come into Geneva, as it is one of like EasyJet's biggest airports, and it is so close to Chamonix that most of the travelers from the UK who come to Chamonix and climb Mont Blanc, they come via Geneva.
You got any figures on that? How many actually are coming to the area
Through
for the
Geneva
mountaineering?
exactly, I don't exactly have any specific numbers, but Chamonix Mont Blanc has about 5.5 million visits a year, which makes it one of the 5 top most visited locations on Earth.
That's a fair target market you got there together. I just want to go back a bit further from your initial start of the idea to start your own business based on your passion of mountaineering. Maybe you just tell us again how the vision actually came together starting 4010 above.
Well, 4010 above came to be as I was looking for a destination in life, something I could identify myself with, something that reflects my passion for the environment and for the mountains. And this vision still hasn't changed at all. It's still that clear vision that I am all about the mountain all the time. It's like I need to form a relationship with the mountain first in order to be climbing it. So this is the reason, for example, why we're here in Lac Léman today, because we can't be up in the mountains filming or having a talk, because the weather's just not saying, the mountain is just saying no.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to accept. And the connection to the environment is also about sharing that relationship with the mountain, that what we feel, what we experience while we're on the mountain, to share that with our clients or with our future clients and with our climbing partners, friends, while we're in the mountains. This is the beautiful journey we're on while we are at 4010 above. 4010 above actually is not only the elevation of Mont Blanc, which is the highest peak in the Alps. It is also it's my personal realm. It's like the state of mind of being above the rest of the world, like being above all trouble, being above the clouds, above the tree line. Just, it's a state of mind. It's a place to be, and it's a state of mind.
I found it very much so when we drove across from Milan today to Geneva. What I found is the mountains, being from Austria myself, they always make me feel humble. The sheer size of it as you're actually driving through the valleys, it's just incredible inspiration feeling there. So when you up there by yourself, right? What's going through your head? I mean, you just came back the other day. You were saying you were up the top. You did a bit of a skiing tour up there.
Yeah, it was. Yes. What's going through my head while I'm up there is actually the whole world and nothing at the same time. It is what you said, that feeling, that humble feeling that you get, that we realize how small we really are as human beings on this planet. As you said, I just came back from the top of Mont Blanc 2 days ago and had a very special, very beautiful solo climb on Mont Blanc and descended the north face of Mont Blanc on skis, which was an itinerary, an experience I have not had before. I've never skied a glacial face of that size and those dimensions before, and it was also a very special tour because I originally wanted to undertake that with my dad at this time of year with skis, and unfortunately he left us too soon a few months ago. And
Yeah, I was very sorry to hear about it. It was your dad and your uncle together.
Yeah, so it was actually, I lost both of my my oldest friends and one of my best climbing partner, my biggest inspiration in the mountains. The guy whose fault it is that 40 and above exists is my dad. And when I was up there, the last steps towards the summit were very emotional. And
So you did this climb for you?
I did this
in memory
climb,
of
yes, I did this climb before him, with him, and through him.
I believe you also were using some of his equipment for the...
Yes, I was wearing this hat, which is his, and wearing his ski boots and his skis, and yeah, it's not because of the material possessions and material equipment we use or I use when I'm on the mountain that was his before. It's his presence in the style I climb and the style I try to climb and I wish to climb, which is a very true, honest, and very bold style of mountaineering.
Yeah.
When I was up the top, the conditions couldn't have been much better. It was like the weather was beautiful. It was relatively, you can call it warm, -6, -8 degrees, and about 40-50 kilometers an hour wind from the west. The sun was up, the view was extraordinary, and then you start skiing down this glacial face, and you gotta imagine it is a world of its own. You enter that moment, you step on your skis, and you start gliding down the mountain. You enter a world of your own. When you see that face, I've seen that face many times before when I climbed Mont Blanc, and I've seen it that day, especially looking at it and trying to figure out a line which was possible to ski. Because it's a labyrinth of ice and seracs and crevasses, like cracks in the glacier that make the house disappear. And you need to navigate through all this, and it's very steep. It's not extreme skiing in terms of like extreme steepness or extreme danger of the snow conditions, and however it is a very serious undertaking because you need to navigate through all these obstacles on the glacier, and you're on a life glacier, and you need to imagine you ski down a 40-degree slope, which is about the average steepness of a roof of these houses here, and that face is 800 meters high and probably about 2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So when you're in that huge face, if you look back up to the summit, it looks like you've descended from another planet. And that feeling of being small and vulnerable and in need to carefully assess every step you take, every movement you make, is something that I believe makes us grow and makes us grow and develop our personality as well.
Right. I can understand it. So the business model 48 and above, right? You started developing the whole idea at M&M Institute.
Yes.
From that perspective, how do you think we were able to assist you getting closer to the vision you had for your business?
Well, I gotta admit that without M&M, 48 and above would probably not exist today, because that's where I came up with the idea, that's where I developed the name, that's where I developed my logo. Though out of my own intentions and out of my own, what I wanted to do, out of my own dreams and passions. However, this whole journey I've had with with M&M Institute and 48 and above was that I didn't have the courage before to actually say, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do. When I was growing up in that typical working class environment in Europe, is that you need to find a job, that you do an apprenticeship, or you learn something, or you take your matura, and you start studying or something like this,
And you hope to land that secure job.
yeah, and you work till 65 until you can retire, and then you retire on a minimum pension, and you depend on the system all your life. And honestly, I don't want to depend on anyone and on anything. I just want to live my life the way I think it's right, and the way I can give back to others, and can share my passion with others, and can maybe be an inspiration for people to follow their dreams. And I have to say that M&M was the ignition to me starting my own enterprise.
Can you remember the moment when you really realized this is sort of, I'm ready actually to start my own business? When you really believed it from inside yourself, I'm capable of doing this.
I think the key moment was during the first 2 weeks of ProU, when you told us that we should, with everything we want to do, if we imagine it, and if we can believe that this is what we really want to do, that we just can make it happen. And there's the proof in so many business models of people who've lived their dreams, you know, like who've done what they love to do the most. Like if you, for example, take Red Bull, Didi Mateschitz is just had this idea of marketing that energy drink he discovered in Thailand, and look what he's done with it. You know, he's the richest man of Austria.
Within the top
dream.
25 globally, I think.
Yeah.
When it comes to richness.
Yes, or like Richard Branson, who's like probably one of my favorite entrepreneurs, because he loves life. He loves extreme sports, and he's doing what he wants to do, and he's.
So when you look at this entrepreneur, the lifestyle is one part, right? But is it also sort of being able to say I'm rich, or is that what you're aiming for as well, as much as the lifestyle itself?
Richness, or rich to me means being rich in lifestyle. You know, the lifestyle for me is definitely the most important part of the whole thing, because I want to live the life.
I think I can tell if I look around here, yeah. It seems to be fairly important to you. Yeah.
So I just gotta put my jacket on.
Getting a bit cool.
A bit cool here. The lifestyle is definitely what I'm after, and to share that lifestyle with people who want to be part of that.
And the lifestyle you visualized while the word M&M, right? Describe that to me for a second. The initial idea of the ideal lifestyle. I think we're doing, if you can remember the activity we're doing, the perfect week or the perfect day, right?
Well, as I said, the perfect day for me was when I wake up in the morning and I look up to Mont Blanc, and after probably just coming back from it and briefing my guides and my staff for the next mission at 48 and above, with the clients arriving, and in Chamonix, where life is beautiful, and it's hard to describe why Chamonix, but it's that setting there, and it's one of these places where you go and you think, this is where I want to be. And I do have a very special relationship with Mont Blanc. It's a mountain that has always had a magic draw to me, and though a lot of people would say it's a very easy climb or something like this, it is a serious mountain. It's the highest peak in the Alps, and it's an environment where we are not meant to be without serious preparation and without serious knowledge. And it is a beautiful setting when you're in Chamonix and you look up to the top of Mont Blanc. I can't think of any place in the world where a human settlement is that close to such a magic and majestic mountain.
So when you're saying that was the ideal vision in the past, like you're coming back from a tour, you're debriefing your guides and everything, right? You have taken a slightly different direction, I believe, with the book and
Yes, this is because I realized through my studies at M&M, I realized that, like Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was Geneva, I guess, if you look at the architecture. That you need to take a step-by-step approach, and sometimes the steps you need to take, you have no knowledge about when you actually make your plan, or when you make your business model, or when you lay out your plan and the desired approach, the vision. It might be an image in distance, but you can't always see it. It's a rocky road to glory.
I think I actually pointed out in class as well, like any vision or any idea you have initially, relative to what it can be at the beginning, it's a crappy vision in terms of it's nowhere near the perfect ideal, right? So how far were you off, you think?
Well, I thought I could take a really direct approach and just go for it, as I always did, and with most things pretty much was kind of successful in terms of getting what I ultimately wanted. But that getting what you ultimately want does not always get you further in life. So, because I can say, yes, I cut corners and I climbed Mont Blanc from the base without training, and I'll feel altitude sick at the top and don't make it back down. So at the end, it got me up to the top, but it didn't get me back down. It's about the journey, and it's about the safe return back home. And I have now seen that approach towards my end goal, till I am a certified mountain guide with these and that many employees. First, I need to define where are going to be my clients, who are going to be my clients, who actually wants to climb a mountain the hard way, the real way, who actually can afford to climb a mountain the real way. What people do I have to team up with to achieve that goal, to get that level of training, and not only the level of training, it's also about the network you build along the way. There's so many people and so many components in a network you discover on the way to where you want to go, that there's an opportunity here. Okay, I could climb Mont Blanc with these people because they've been up there 3, 4, 5 times before and they know the way, and I can probably have their help and follow them. Or what I prefer is to set myself a little bit aside from them, watch them from a distance, and then try my own approach by a different way, or at a different time, at the season where there's not that many people on the mountain. Just for the pure sake of the adventure and the thrill I'm still seeking.
So what you're actually saying is, it's not just you have taken that philosophy off the mountain and put it in your business model as well. It's not the end goal itself, it's the journey getting there. Absolutely right. I find it so.
Now that I have discovered, I have till I'll be able to fully launch 48 and above as an operating enterprise that's offering a service to paying clients, it will be another 2.5 to 3 years. And within these 2.5 to 3 years, I'm not gonna go back and work construction jobs or waste my time with stuff I don't like to do. I met a photographer from Belgium, Thomas Crowells, who just recently won an award in Spain, and we sort of clicked on the mountain. We met on the mountain last year. We clicked. We have the same philosophy. We have the same interests. He loves the mountains. He's less experienced in alpinism than I am, so he can take some of my knowledge to get to the places where he can take his beautiful award-winning photos. And on the other hand, I'll have a rope partner. I can climb more complex stuff to get more knowledge in the area where I want to be operating in the future. Plus, I've always had that idea of, publishing something, leaving some sort of legacy. And then the idea with the book came to be. And to me, writing a book, I think, is something very, very noble and very sophisticated. Because when you look back to your childhood, when you look back growing up, going to school, what did we learn from? Where did we get our information from? It was from books. So to me, I grew up with that sense of somebody who's writing a book has got a lot of knowledge, and he left something behind for other people to learn from and for other people to enjoy that. And I think that is one mission I have in life, that I need to leave something behind.
And the main focus will be purely just Mont Blanc?
Yes, it's
the first book.
The first
right.
book. Through the knowledge I gained at M&M about market research and running a business needs to be profitable.
Yeah, we shouldn't be ashamed to make money. I have to agree with that as well.
Yes, I mean, we gotta live. We gotta pay our bills, and we gotta sort of like, even if I try to be as far away from society as possible, we sort of have to cope with it and live in it. But with that book, it's going to be a photographic journey onto Mont Blanc, about Mont Blanc, around Mont Blanc, as well as an alpinism diary guidebook describing the so-called normal routes up Mont Blanc, the not the most difficult ways to climb Mont Blanc, the most convenient ways to climb Mont Blanc. However, given the approach of not using any technical assistance like cable cars and other touristical infrastructure in the area, which there is plenty. So we will produce a manuscript, basically, an instruction manual of how to get up Mont Blanc, step by step, the right way, the honest way, documented with amazing photos.
Which of course gonna mean you're gonna, each of these routes you're gonna just explore yourself before you actually put them in the book.
Yes, we're gonna climb everything ourselves, and we're gonna spend a lot of time on the summit, around the summit. First off, to take great photos.
Yeah.
Then to document the climbs, the state of the glacier. I want to produce something that is complete, something that is near perfect. And given the fact that it's going to be a photographic journal and photographic book with amazing award-winning photos, it will be approaching tourists who come to Chamonix and want to buy, who don't have the courage or the chance to climb Mont Blanc, but they still want to take something home to show their family and their loved ones, and this is where I was. And then they see these beautiful photos about that amazing mountain. Also for alpinists who will have these photos as very detailed and very high quality images to actually see the way up the mountain, see the state of the mountain. So that way I can cover the tourists who want a souvenir, and I can cover the alpinists who want a souvenir guidebook, basically. Because it will be like coffee table book format, so that maybe A4 square, like landscape.
Transparent.
And decent quality paper, high quality print. And yes, this is going to be the first
I'll definitely put my name down for one. Yeah. So you also just mentioned in terms that you're going to do the mountaineering course. What's the proper title for it?
It's called the IMFGA Mountain Guide.
Okay.
It's
so
the International Federation of Mountain Guide Associations.
And what will that entitle you to do?
That will entitle me to guide people on the mountain, to operate as a certified mountain guide. It will entitle me to operate my own mountaineering school.
Right.
It will entitle me to have apprentice guides working for me under supervision. So with this, this is the highest internationally accredited qualification in terms of commercial mountaineering.
And you were mentioning before, it's a tough course, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? And you need to be in training for it.
It is a very, very selective entry exam that you have to take. It's two parts. It's like one part is skiing and ice climbing, and the other part is rock climbing and alpinism, high alpinism on glaciers and stuff like that. And The preparation for that requires a solid logbook about previously undertaken climbs and itineraries in the mountains, in various mountain ranges. The more diversity you have, the better.
And by what time you reckon you will have sufficient evidence in that logbook to actually go for the entry exam?
Well, January.
This January?
This coming January.
Right.
The first entry exam is going to be early February, and by January I want to have my logbook completed. And I'm going to have my logbook completed. I'm missing a few like really high alpine climbs who I'm still looking for climbing partners for, which are serious mountaineering undertakings that take like 2 to 3 days. That means like being in a huge face of rock and ice, like for example the Matterhorn North Face.
Yeah.
Simply said, the committee, when they look at your logbook, they want to see that you are a competent and outstanding alpinist
Before you actually
commence to be taken into consideration for the course. The course itself takes 2 years, and it's over 3 months of pure mountaineering training on the mountain, and about a month of theory, where you learn about law and this and that, and insurance. And
so you're doing this in block work, basically?
That's blocks. That takes 2 years, and the first block will start July next year, and then there's a month break, then there's the next block of 2 to 3 weeks. And it's all over the Alps. It's not only in Austria or in Italy or somewhere. It's in the Austrian Alps, it's in the Swiss Alps, it's in the Mont Blanc area, which is good because I'll have solid knowledge about that area by then.
Yeah.
And once I'm a certified mountain guide, I'm gonna officially launch 4010 above as a guiding enterprise.
What size you want to take that enterprise?
My original vision was to, in probably 5 to 10 years time, have 20-25 guides working for me. Now I've sort of changed that a little bit to, not number-wise, but not working for me, working with me.
Yeah, good stuff.
And maybe these guides working independently for 40th and above as like subcontractors, or they are allowed to carry my label and operate in the style of 40th and above, and can also draw their clients towards 40th and above, so the brand will not grow in numbers and as into a huge company with loads of management and loads of staff, but it will spread around the world of like people who pay mountain guides to have an extraordinary experience in the mountains.
Yeah, it sounds like you got it all planned. You're on the right path. You made the move. You really stepped out of the rat race, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Back to M&M, right? If you would change anything about M&M, what would it be?
The location.
The location.
Yeah.
That sounds, nobody has said that before. What do you mean by that?
Well, have one here in Geneva, for example, to breed more entrepreneurs who want to live their dream outdoors and in the nature. Maybe have various M&Ms all around the world, because I truly believe in what M&M is about, and I believe that this way of learning is not the easiest way, but the best way to learn, because you discover it.
What makes you say it's not the easiest way?
Well,
academic sense, or?
Well, we're living in a world of convenience, and everything is at our plate. We have everything within reach. We have phones who basically think for us. We have applications who nearly drive for us, and this and that. And people get used to this, and everybody wants everything very easy, very convenient, very fast, and very cheap. So I believe the quality of the whole product, the quality of education, the quality of knowledge, and the quality of people is slowly decreasing. people don't really socialize much anymore. If you sit in a cafe, nobody has time to talk because they're all too busy with checking their social media, with trying to keep up with the masses of information we're getting thrown at every day. And
you feel like Eminem sort of gave you distance from that? Or?
Eminem gave me the vision to follow my own goals without being aware of the distractions that they're out there, but not being, not being trapped by them, and getting let all these distractions that we have get us off our own vision.
Getting caught up in the daily life without thinking about
being in that spiral of control that we are in with all this technology. It's
awesome. Thanks very much for that. I mean, maybe not Geneva, but there's definitely other areas that would be of interest for me, maybe. But
yeah, maybe Vienna, or like anywhere. I believe that anywhere in the world there should be a place where people have access to that sort of education, and
that's a moment I dream of as well myself. Hence, building M&M in the first place. So, Flo, thank you very much. It's been, as always, awesome to see you, mate, and definitely gonna see you back at M&M at some stage of your career.
Yes.
We wish you all the best, and maybe if you allow us, we come back in a year's time or so, and if the weather plays with us, we actually get up there the mountain as well.
We might have a talk at 3,000 meters above sea level,
I don't have to overdo it myself, but yeah.
Oh, there's ways, there's high alpine areas that are easily accessible.
All right,
without.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.